Detlef has now identified a problem that we all encounter. He wants to make a call to Germany using voice over IP, that is over Wi-Fi WLAN, and now he says he has connected to the Ayala Mall Wi-Fi here. It's connected, but no connection is being established. Why is that?
That's a good question. A few days ago, I called Germany from the Philippines using voice over IP over the internet, just like normal.
WLAN means that somewhere nearby there's a router with antennas, and this router is broadcasting the signal with the name Free Wi-Fi Ayala. And the router sends out the signal, whether there's an actual connection behind it or not. The router doesn't care about that because it just says, here's free Wi-Fi, here's free Wi-Fi. So what happens is you connect to this free Wi-Fi and the connection to the router, that works, that gets established. But behind that, the internet might only be connected with the cheapest plan the owner is willing to pay for, since they're offering it for free. So behind it is a simple, cheap internet plan, and then it can happen that it's not paid for, and that's why there's no internet at all. But the router still says, because it's working, I'm the one for Wi-Fi. So there's actually no internet connected behind it, or the internet is connected, but it's not just this one router here, but 10 others as well. And over these 10 routers, there are currently 100 people connecting, so from maybe 20 megabits of internet. Each person only gets 100th. And that's simply not enough bandwidth for an app that provides voice over IP. That means, politically correct, every provider offers free Wi-Fi. They just put a router there and buy the lowest, the cheapest internet plan. The router broadcasts its free Wi-Fi, it works. No one has to mention that it's constantly overloaded or that the plan behind it isn't even being paid for. If someone comes along and asks, where's your free Wi-Fi? Here you can see it's there. That's the difficulty. Plus in the malls, it's often the common case that you can successfully connect to the readily available free Wi-Fi network, but then, quite frequently, you're automatically redirected to your web browser, where you are then required to register on a dedicated login page in order to obtain a unique token, which you subsequently use to fully activate your internet access. So free Wi-Fi isn't as simple as you might think.
That's how I see it at the moment, too. Free Wi-Fi is not really free Wi-Fi.
The fact that it worked another time just means you were possibly in a different area of the mall where there aren't as many people or where the router actually has internet access. So it's not like the free Wi-Fi comes from a single central point. In your home, you probably have one router for the whole house, but if the signal is too weak on the second floor, you install what's called a repeater, and suddenly you have Wi-Fi there too. But depending on where you are, either the router on the ground floor or the repeater on the first floor will be used. And that's why if you've never heard of it, technically, of course, it's hard to understand.
I'm actually running an internet test here, a speed test. Oh, sure. Exactly. It's very reliable. I use it at home on my PC as well as on my phone. And I can see right now we have a ping of 70, which is actually very good. A download speed of 5 megabytes and an upload of 1.2 megabytes.
And you all know this black OOKLA SpeedNet, the speed test app. Now take a closer look, because this is also one of those tricks that internet providers use worldwide. If you look closely, you'll see that you're connecting to a server probably in Mandaway. I don't know right now.
I can't see it right now. Yeah.
Try it, exactly. If you start the test again, you'll wait. Down here you have Globe. That's your phone, and below that, if you want to check, Mandaway.
Exactly.
Mandaway, that means the phone is now connecting to the nearest server, which is here in Cebu City, Mandaway. That's only 10 kilometers. And of course, I have a wonderfully fast connection to that server because the line is short and the ping is also fast at 70 milliseconds. Now, you should know that the Philippine internet is very poorly connected to the international internet with only a few gateways. That's why I always recommend that you go down below, because you can also select servers there. And then just enter it up top, type in Singapore, just enter Singapore. So for the target server in the OOKLA Speedtest, you should look for one outside the Philippines. I'll go with Singapore now. Just type in Singa, so that it finds something.
It can. All right, good.
Okay, and now we'll just pick a provider from Singapore. Now we're connected here. Can you read that out?
Verizon.
Verizon, but probably Singapore. Verizon, Singapore. All right, let's get started. And now it's testing the connection to Singapore. And now you'll be surprised because the ping is probably worse, but it's still...
Excellent. 73. 73.
It's still a very good ping. It seems the Ayala Mall is well connected. but you can already see now
2
MB download, and the upload will be even less.
will be worse, definitely.
And this is just the connection to Singapore. The connection to Germany is much farther still. And if I now look at this list, if I enter Frankfurt to test the connection to Frankfurt, I see that I probably have a ping rate of 250 or higher. And now we have here 3 megabits upload and 1.5 download. That would actually be enough for voice over IP, but to Singapore. If you want to try that again for fun. And in Frankfurt, it's probably only a few hundred kilobytes here.
Good to know.
Good to know, says Detlef. Exactly, if you know it. And that's why this OOKLA Speedtest is so deceptive, because the internet providers, they show you, of course, that you now have a 500 megabit connection to the internet and you have this bandwidth to the server in Mandarway. Yeah, but to the internet, you might only have 50 or 60 megabits. That's why you just need to know that. You have to set the target server to where you actually want to connect, for example, to Germany. And then the results from the OOKLA Speedtest will be exactly...
I've got Mumbai here.
Mumbai, go ahead and pick Mumbai, because that's India. So Frankfurt doesn't work, but what about Mumbai?
Possibly unstable.
Unstable. Yeah, and you can see the further away you get, the more difficult it becomes. Because then there are even more connections in between. Errors. That means you might still make it to Singapore, and that's it.
A great takeoff with 0.6.
Yeah, and that 0.6, that's 600 kilobits. Back in the ISDN days, we would have been thrilled with that.
Yeah.
But today's apps need a lot more.